We often hear people say that we're reliving in a simulation, or that reality is just a dream. While there's no way to prove or disprove these theories, sometimes it seems like there are glitches in the matrix. And while they don't necessarily mean that we're in a simulation, they can be pretty freaky nonetheless. From backwards waterfalls to time slips, here are 5 glitches in the matrix that will blow your mind. In our modern age, it seems like every single thing has been documented by someone. This is especially true when it comes to the internet. Almost anything you could possibly want to know about can be found with a quick Google search. But there are still some things that we don't know, such as the origin of certain videos. One such video was uploaded to YouTube in 2008 and shows an unknown building in Tokyo, Japan. The building itself looks like any other high-rise office building until you notice one strange detail. The windows are all backwards. It looks like the reflective glass has been replaced with glass that's showing the insides of the building instead of reflecting the outside. In this world, it would make sense if the building was old and the transparency was just a cheap replacement for the actual glass. But that's not the case. The building was constructed in 2006, so it should have had the proper windows installed. There's also no reason why the architects would design a building with windows that were placed backwards. So what's going on? Unfortunately, the truth is, no one knows. The video went viral and sparked a lot of speculation, but no one knows what the deal is with the backwards windows. It's possible that it was just a mistake made during construction. However, it's also possible that we're reliving in a simulation and the rules of physics are always followed. Let us stick with the whole simulation theory for a moment and talk about a glitch in the matrix that happens to the best of us. If you've ever played a video game before, then you know that sometimes glitches can occur that cause strange things to happen. Sometimes these glitches can be harmless, like an object clipping through another one. Other times they can be more inconvenient, like when a character gets stuck on an object and can't move. Occasionally, these glitches can actually benefit the player, though. Items may appear out of nowhere that give the player an advantage, or an enemy may get stuck in an awkward position that makes them easy to defeat. It seems that something similar happened to one unlucky individual who was walking down a hallway when they noticed a body on the ground. When they approached, they realized that the person was stuck in an upside-down position and couldn't move. They tried to help the person up but were unable to because their arms and legs were stuck against the wall. After trying for a few moments, the person gave up and walked away. The entire incident was caught on surveillance footage, which shows a man stuck in an impossible position. Some people believe that this man was simply stuck in a very uncomfortable situation, and that there is a perfectly logical explanation for the footage. Others believe that this was a glitch in the matrix that allowed the man to experience a form of déjà vu. The truth is, we may never know what really happened. Déjà vu is a French term that translates to already seen in English. When someone experiences déjà vu, they have the feeling that they've already experienced the situation they're currently in, even though they know that's not possible. Déjà vu is a relatively common experience, and most people have experienced it at least once in their lives. However, it's not exactly clear what causes déjà vu. There are many different theories, but none of them have been proven. Some believe that déjà vu is a glitch in the matrix that allows us to briefly see into the future. Others believe that it is a malfunction in the brain that causes us to remember something that never happened. Whatever the cause may be, déjà vu is a fascinating phenomenon that has captured the attention of scientists, philosophers, and everyday people alike. Déjà vu isn't the only phenomenon that has people scratching their heads in confusion. Have you ever heard of the Mandela effect? The Mandela effect is a relatively new term that refers to a situation where a large group of people all share the same false memory. The term was coined in 2009 when a man named Richard Mandela realized that he had a false memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, when he shared his memory with others. He realized that many people had the same memory, even though it wasn't true. Since then, many other examples of the Mandela effect have been identified. such as the false memory that the Berenstain Bears were spelled Berenstein. So what's going on? Some believe that the Mandela effect is caused by alternate universes colliding, causing our memories to become jumbled. Others believe that it's simply a matter of misinformation that is spread over time. Whichever the cause may be, the Mandela effect is a fascinating phenomenon that can lead to some strange and confusing situations. Some people claim that they experienced a glitch in the matrix that allows them to travel through time, either into the past or the future. One such person is a Reddit user who shared their story of how they met Abraham Lincoln. According to the user, they were walking through a park when they saw a group of men playing baseball. As they got closer, they realized that one of the players looked familiar. It was Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The user said that they were stunned and frozen in place when they saw him. Lincoln continued to play the game for a few minutes before walking over to the user and talking to them for a while. He told the user that he was enjoying the game and asked them how they were doing. The user said that they were confused and didn't know what to say. Suddenly, Lincoln turned and walked back to the game without another word. The user was left feeling confused and disoriented. After a few moments, they shook off the experience and continued on their way. That was the last time they ever saw Abraham Lincoln. The story is obviously a strange one, and there are many people who doubt its validity. However, there are also many people who believe the story to be true. There have been many other reports of people seeing historical figures in modern times, which makes this story even more intriguing. Ultimately, we may never know whether or not this user really did meet Abraham Lincoln. But the story makes us wonder, is it possible to travel through time, or are we truly just living in a simulation? There have been many claims of people experiencing glitches in the matrix that allow them to see into the future. One such person is a Reddit user who shared their story of how they saw a car accident before it happened. The user was driving down the road when they saw a car in front of them swerve into the other lane. The user thought that the car was about to crash and slammed on their brakes. Just as they did, the car in front of them crashed into another vehicle that had been traveling in the other lane. The user was shaken but unharmed. They had somehow seen the accident before it happened. The user isn't the only one who has experienced this type of glitch. There have been many other reports of people having premonitions of car accidents before they happen. In some cases, the premonition is a dream that the person has before the accident occurs. In other cases, it's a vision that the person sees while they're awake. These premonitions are often vague and open to interpretation, but they seem to be a real phenomenon that many people have experienced. Is it possible that these premonitions are glimpses into the future, or are they just coincidences? We may never know for sure. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more just like it, then be sure to check out more content. With that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.